I absolutely love the smell of a lilac. As a kid growing up, my parents had lilac bushes at their home, and always midsummer you could always smell the lilacs when you pull in the driveway. And that smell kind of resonated with me a little bit. And here at Acre Farms, we're going to actually grow a few different varieties of lilac. We're actually going to do a Miss Kim Lilac Tree. Now we're going to be starting that from a seed, and we'll kind of share a little bit more of that with you guys, but roughly that takes about 3 years to reach its fullest maturity. And when it does, it blooms a beautiful purple flower, but it is a little bit slow in growing. So with that being said, I actually took some cuttings from that very lilac bush that I was just telling you about at my parents' house. And we're also going to use that common lilac cutting and propagate that and grow that very bush on our property. Now, the common lilac actually can bloom in multiple colors. The one that we actually propagated is a purple, but they do come in red, white, like a bluish tone, and a violet, and then of course your purple. Those bushes actually can grow anywhere from 6 to 16 feet depending on how well they're maintained, right? Some interesting facts about the lilac. Did you know that the lilac is part of the olive family? Or the fact that it can grow anywhere from 6 feet to 30 feet tall. The lilac also blooms mid-spring, early summer, and when it blooms, it lasts for only about 3 weeks. The lilac actually comes in a variety of colors, anywhere from white, pink, blue, red, violet, purple, you name it. You can get a variety of colors with the lilac. So the lilac is actually a cold hardy plant. That's why it works so well here in Zone 5A for us. It is also a edible type plant. I'm not sure that many people know that, but you can go ahead and chew on a branch of lilac.
Not the branch, the flower.
Not the branch, the flower. We can also infuse the lilac with our honey. It can be made into wine, liquor, tea, ice cream, shampoo, you name it. There's a multi-purpose use for a lilac. Also, the best for last. It is also said that the lilac has medicinal properties, but we'll leave that up for you to do the research.
Let's talk about the why we want to have a large variety of lilac on our property. First off, lilac are easy to grow. They require minimum human interaction. Also, lilac is a very hardy plant that is deer and pest resistance. Next, the sheer density of this plant will act as a nice interior wind and snow break during our colder months. Also, let's not step over the aesthetics of the plant. The flower will provide a nice fragrance during the summer months, but also that green foliage will last until fall. Lastly, it's a resource for our honeybees. My mouth is watering right now thinking about the naturally infused lilac honey that we're gonna get. Here on our farm, price factor in everything that we do. Our Mrs. Kim seeds cost us roughly $6 for a pack of 50. That equates to 12 cents per seed. And of course, as Jamie mentioned, we got the cuttings for free. There's 4 interesting ways that we're propagating our lilac that I want to share with you guys. First way is the cuttings directly into soil. I'll share here. As you guys can see, we have these in 2-inch pots. These have been in the soil for roughly 3 weeks, and we already have some growth here and here. In all we have 4 plants, and they're doing well. The next way that we are growing our lilac is direct seed into soil. Come on in, I'm gonna give you guys a closer look here. So these seeds were sowed at the same time as the cuttings were planted, roughly about 3 weeks ago. As Jamie mentioned, the seeds are slow growing, but surprisingly, if you come in a little closer here, you'll see that we already have some growth, which is a surprise. The third way that I'm actually propagating these seeds is compliments of my third grade teacher, Mr. Freeze at Lincoln Elementary in Waterloo, Iowa. I'm not for certain if he's still with us, but if so, kudos to you, old chap. I remember this from third grade. So what I have here is a Ziploc bag with a damp cloth in it that I sprinkled some seeds in. And I have a little piece of tape, if you guys can see that. And what I do is I just hang this in the window so they get sun every day. What's nice about this, it doesn't require me to water it every day because the sweat and moisture accumulates in the bag and it's kind of self-watering. What I want to show you is actually pretty cool. So inside of our pots, we have roughly, I want to say 24 pots, and there's only one plant germinating right now. But let's check out this bag here. Check this out, guys. Look at all the seeds that are germinating. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of the seeds right now that I see that is bearing root. What's going to happen is once they get established, I'll go through and I'll pull that plant out and I'll put it in the soil. And to me personally, I feel like I'm getting a better success in this method. Like I said, it's low maintenance. I'm not doing anything other than what I did at the same time I planted those guys, and that's put it in a damp cloth and put the seeds in there and dumped it in the bag. And we're having better success, I think, here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and fold these guys up and close them back up and put them back where they are because I don't wanna shock them. And again, all I did was put a damp cloth in here, put some seeds in there, and I just sit in there like that, and we'll hang it on our windowsill. Being that the Ziploc bag method is working so well, I thought I'll try to do it with some cuttings as well. Jamie went back to her parents' house and was able to grab a few more cuttings for us. So I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do, just experiment to see how it works. Can't promise you it's going to work, but we'll definitely update you guys on throughout the process. What you'll need if you want to do this at home, you'll need some root enhancer. This is just the kind that we got. Do your own research. I just went off the reviews that I saw online and grabbed a bottle of that. You also need a pruner, some alcohol, a towel, some paper towels, water, and a couple of Ziploc bags, and of course your cuttings. Now, alcohol is for just to clean off the pruners. What that does is just make sure there's no leftover residual disease or bacteria that could cause harm to the cuttings or a plant that you're using. And another thing I failed to mention is some painter's tape. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna take some root enhancer and I'm gonna put in this old pill bottle. And the reason I put this in a separate bottle is because, again, I want to be able to use this again, and I don't want to transfer any germs or disease to any potential cutting that I will put inside that bottle. So we don't know what is on plants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cutting of my choosing here. I'll show you guys. We'll just take this guy here. So if you can see here, the plant has these little nodes on it. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take our pruner, and I'll flip it this way, and we're going to cut directly underneath one of those nodes. Now you don't wanna cut through the nodes. Reason being is that would damage the node, and the node is what's gonna produce the roots. So we also gonna just cut off a couple of these other branches. Reason being we want to allow the energy to the root system to develop the root system. That way this produces a plant roots quickly. And we're gonna dip it in a little water. And then we're gonna dip it in our root hormone here. And We're gonna set it in between our paper towel, and I'll show you what we're gonna do next. And I'm gonna do several of those real quick, and then we'll go to our next step here. All right, guys, so what we have in here is roughly 8 cuttings inside of a paper towel. I'm gonna damp this paper towel, and I got it wrapped up like this here. We have these in root enhancers, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna dip it in some water to get it wet. And that's the idea, is they're gonna keep the bottom wet moist there so it can develop roots. So what I'm gonna do is open this Ziploc bag, and I'm just gonna stick it in here like that. And I'm going to seal it around the plant, the cuttings I should say. I'm gonna seal it around the cuttings like so. And we're gonna hang this up in the windowsill and see if it produced roots faster, just like the seeds germinated faster inside the Ziploc bag in the windowsill. And for purposes, I'm just gonna write the date that we start these cuttings inside this method. That way we can get an idea how fast it takes to produce root system here. And again, just like the seeds, we're gonna keep you guys updated on this process as well. Now we got 20 cuttings up here. Hopefully you guys gathered some information from this. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, hit that bell notification, tell a million friends or two, of course subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.